When the lights come on, she's ready to rise. Donnelly steps up with faith in her eyes. Puzzle pieces fitting, stars up in the sky. With every prayer and song, she'll make your spirit fly.
She's got the voice that can heal the soul. Singing, gaming, she's on a roll. The Star Wars battles to her prayerful light. Donnelly's shining through the night. Shine on, Donnelly's, you light up the way. Singing, praying, bringing hope today.
From puzzles to the force, you're always on, Donnelly's.
You're our shining star. In the game or the prayer, she's standing tall. With every step, she answers the call. Blessings in her heart, light in her soul. With Donnelly's, we're ready to roll.
Raise your hands, feel the groove. With her faith and her love, you can't lose.
From the galaxy far to the prayers so deep, Donnelly's is the joy we keep.
Shine on, Donnelly's, you're the light we need.
With every song and every prayer you lead.
From puzzles to the force, you're always on, Donnelly's. You're our shining song. Shine on, Donnelly's. Shine on.
Good morning, happy Friday. How's everybody doing? Awesome, we've got everything working just the way I need it to. Hallelujah. OBS did not do anything weird over the week. How has everybody's week been? Congratulations to Starlina for getting first and Kitty for getting second. What has everybody been up to this week? It has been a busy week. And yeah, Sarah, isn't it so great? I love this song. I love it. You hope so too, since hubby's schedule is changing. It might take a minute to get used to and adjust things around. Does that mean our D&D is probably going to change? Good morning, Spawn. How's it going? Good morning, doing all right? Let me do my beginning of stream chat. Got something on your brain that's a bit controversial but funny and want to ask you first if it's okay? Absolutely! Feel free, because this is mostly just our catch-up, hangout time, and talking about whatever we want to talk about. And then we'll do a short little Devo time. And then I have a really fun Devo for today, because we're going to talk about a little known fact in the book of Joshua. Because this is something that I didn't know about until about a year ago, if not a little longer. And you're gonna find out right after these messages. Aw, dusty week started off sick but doing better. I'm glad you're feeling better. Ooh, let's see how my bracket's doing. Oop, wrong thing. There we go. Same column, different row. Here we go. Let's see how we doing. 39 points in one and 46 points in the other. Hey. Going good, just waking up? I feel you. Spawn, because yeah, there are days where I'm like, oh man, I really don't want to get out of bed. But I tell you, you guys, ever since my friend Soul got me this sunrise alarm clock that you see right back here, there we go, that has helped me wake up in such a better mood. Oh my goodness, if you guys do not have a sunrise alarm clock, get yourself a sunrise alarm clock. Because it is amazing. You can tell it how much before your set alarm you want it to start gently waking you up. And it'll start in more of kind of an orangish red color to kind of gently wake you up like a sunrise. And then it'll brighten until the alarm goes off. So that way you're gently waking up with the sun, and it is such a cool concept. I love it. You'll probably end up going back to sleep later because it's early here for us. So wait, it's only 10. I have a haircut at 2, and before that, I need to get a booster shot for a mission trip that I'm going on in July. So, hopefully I'm going to end pretty close to 11, somewhere between 11 and 11:30, so that I have time to run over, get that, fill up the car, go get my hair done. It's something you don't think people understand. Most of us Christians agree on certain topics, and there are some that don't, but you don't want to offend anyone, but you'll see. You were watching a video on YouTube, saw a comment, and it made you think of something that you thought of a while ago, so you're just like, I don't think people think of this little quote-unquote concept. Ooh, I'm interested in what it is, Sarah. I am very interested in what this concept is. I am like, wow, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be a banger. So we had Alana on Wednesday, and it was pretty good. We talked about Solomon asking for wisdom, and that was such a good lesson. I think they all took something from it, and hopefully they learned. And then let's see, what else was there this week? We have choir rehearsal on Tuesday, and that went well. We're starting to get to the point with like 2 weeks left until Easter, where we're finally getting phrasing sounding right. And we're getting up on the stage, getting the microphones all set up. Since we don't have choreography that we're doing, it works, you know? Like, it's mostly just, okay, does the microphone sound good here, or does it sound better here? You know, that kind of thing. And so, it works. We're getting there. We are definitely getting there. And I am all for having it come together. And then last night was my Bible study with Lux Digital Church, and then my Bible study through my in-person church. And so that was really, really good too. You redid your Pokopia town and did a brick path and added tons of Pokemon habitats, and you love it? Oh man, my friend Pastor Dustin, he recently got, was it Charizard? Yeah, Charizard, because it's Charmander, Charmeleon, and then Charizard, or is it other way around? I know Charmander, I think it's Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard? I am terrible with remembering which evolutions go in which order. Oh, good morning, Soul! I'm right! Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard. Awesome! Because he was waiting for Charizard, and we were like trying to help him get his Charizard. we were like Googling how to do it, and then he's like trying everything, getting all the like campfire stuff and all of that, and he finally got his Charizard. It's a fraction political. The left that's all in support of quote-unquote trans can't define what a woman is, but then how can it support abortion? That is a good question. That is a very, very good question. And I am very much all for, I had my thought. There it is. Fighting criticism with curiosity. And kind of getting to the kind of trying to figure out where their logic train derailed, and by there I mean anybody we talk to. We want to fight criticism with curiosity, because anytime we get a new piece of information and it kind of goes against what we think we know and what we believe, we want to kind of get to follow that logic train to its natural conclusion. We want to take that logic train as far down the track as possible and see if it holds up. And that, that is a wonderful thing. And that can be anything from politics to religion to, just anything in between. And so we want to make sure, because when we fight criticism with curiosity, we are less on the defensive. We ourselves are less on the defensive, and so they're going to have their walls down a little bit. They're still going to be up somewhat, because they're still going to probably start thinking, okay, when are they going to attack? But the more that we ask questions, the more those defenses are going to be lowered, because they're going to realize, wait a minute, we're not attacking them. We're just trying to understand where they're coming from. And that is a key in building relationships and building bridges. And sadly, it's the left is kind of known for, and sometimes, the extremes of both sides tend to talk at each other versus to each other. And that is where fighting criticism with curiosity can come in handy. Because you're right. You ask somebody to define a woman, and they're, depending on who they are, they might even say anybody who identifies as it. Exactly like Soul said, their logic is that you can identify, or how you identify that determines your gender, not your biology. So in their reasoning, some can get pregnant, some can't, because it's not based in biology. And so then you have to follow that to its natural conclusion and say, and then try and figure out, okay, so if X is true, then is Y also true? Because there's only one truth. Truth is not subjective. Or not objective. There we go. Truth is not objective. No. Subjective. It's not a per person thing. My brain is not fully thinking right now. Truth is not a one size fits all. You believe what you believe. I believe what I believe. It's not a thing that's different per person. Truth is a universal thing. And so, if you say, that a woman is somebody that has, this biological factor, then by that logic, this cannot, you know what I mean? And so you have all these different things that you follow that logic train, and it derails at some point. And then you have to try and get it back on track. You try and ask, when does life begin? And you have to follow that to its natural conclusion. You got a Charizard too? Aw, yay, mission accomplished! your kitty's meowing at you like, why are you awake right now? And you're like, because Donna's here. You want to switch to so bad, and that game you can't watch him because it makes you want to ignore that and you have no money and just charge it. That is totally, totally valid. I am of the mindset that I cannot feasibly afford all the game systems that I want. I know the Wii U is like on a very good sale right now, and part of me wants to take advantage of that. But the adult part of me, the I need to be more financially responsible part of me says no. Does my friend happen to did my friend happen to get Sparkling Skylands? I don't know. I'll have to ask Dustin. Yeah, it's tough because many will disagree with you on that too. Postmodernism, truth is subjective, my truth, your truth, that whole thing. Exactly. You love the Wii U, you used to have one with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Nice! I want to get, like, that was one of the games that if I were to get a Switch 2, I would want, is Mario Kart World. As it is, I want to eventually get the Mario Kart one that's on the Switch. But money. But yeah, like Soul said, you have to kind of figure out where that logic of postmodernism of my truth, your truth derails. Because if truth is subjective, then there really is no natural truth. You know, like if you follow that logic train, if this is true and this is true, something's gonna blow up in the midst, because it's just part of having two conflicting things claim to be true. There are certain situations where both things can be true. There are certain situations with that, but at the same time, a majority of the time, when postmodernism tries to pull the my truth, your truth thing, it's when they know that the two go against each other, and the world would implode if, or explode if anything, like if those two were both true. You liked Mario Kart for the N64? Oh my goodness! Oh man, I remember playing, I think, on a friend's N64 at one point, because I never had an N64. I'm gonna allow that. Autobot was being mean. But yeah, I remember playing on a friend's N64, because I never had an N64, but I had some friends who did. And we would play on that every so often, and it was really fun. Ooh, what does your kitty want? Does he want foods? You're just like, huh? Scratch head? Well, it helps people think, too. Often we humans rely on our emotions far too often. And you have to have logic with the emotions. Exactly. You cannot be ruled by emotion alone. You cannot also be ruled by logic alone. You have to have, you know, that blend. And that is what Star Trek did such a good job of showing, is that when you remove all the emotion and you have only logic, you're also blinded to certain things. But when you're also ruled too much by emotion, that also blinds you to certain things. And so you've got to have that happy medium. If your emotions overrule logic, then you won't be able to determine what's true and what's not. If you have too much logic and no emotion, well, then you're a robot. But seriously, God gave us emotions to feel and be there for one another and have sympathy and have love and feel love. Exactly. Oh, it thought you were calling people, like, it thought you were bullying people by saying robot, and I'm like, no. Context matters, as Dustin says. Because it literally was like, for bullying, and I'm like, wait, bullying? Sarah doesn't bully anybody. And then I scrolled down and it highlighted the word robot, and I'm like, Really? Really, Automod? And Pokemon Stadium on the N64 was fun too, along with Banjo and Kazooie. And I was right, he wanted foods! He wanted foods when he has foods. Emotions are at the caboose at the end of the train. That is fair. That is fair. I think it's kind of one of those you have to have that balance. Like, it might be that caboose, but it's also kind of there in the middle. And it's, you know, like you kind of alternate logic car, emotion car, logic car, emotion car. Maybe. Right, the day that Automod is able to take context into account, I will be a very happy Donna. Oh, Starlina made me realize I need to play something. Because... let's see, where is it? Here it is. No wonder that part always gets us into trouble. The...
Emotional damage.
Exactly! Exactly, love rejoices with the truth. God gave us them as a gift, but they were never intended for telling us what is true and what is not. That is a very good point, Soul. There is a balance. You can't have truth without love and love without truth. Exactly. Yay! Kitty has foods! I love it! What's up, Spawn? Tell me, tell me, tell me! And while Spawn tells us this, I found last year a little known biblical fact. Good morning, Kirby. You're not sure, did I tell you? Yep, you moved into the new house. Ooh, you bought the board game Adventure Island for $7 instead of $40? Nice! Just waiting to be shipped. I love it. Oh, Lottie's birthday's next month. Oh, on April 1st. So just a few days away. You're gonna have to have like the biggest celebration ever for her. Alright, you guys, did you know that there was a time when the sun stood still for a whole day? Let that sink in. Did you guys know there was a time where the sun and moon both stood still for a whole day? Aww, a treat and tuna? I love it! So let me pull this up for you guys. Gonna turn on my display capture. Let's take a look at the properties. Ah, there it is. Alright. Let's move it over here so that way you guys can still see me. The caboose analogy was from a Bible study you attended, more about letting the truth come first and not letting emotions override at any point. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. So this is Joshua chapter 10. I'm reading in the ESV, and I'm going to give you guys the context. And you're going to see there was a time when the sun stood still. So we're going to start up here at verse 1. As soon as King Adoni-Zedek, king of Jerusalem, heard how Joshua had captured Ai and devoted it to destruction, doing to Ai and its king as he had done to Jericho and its king, and how the inhabitants of Gibeon had made peace with Israel and were among them, he feared greatly because Gibeon was a great city, like one of the royal cities, and because it was greater than Ai, and all its men were warriors. So Adoni-Zedek, king of Jerusalem, sent to Hoham, king of Hebron, to Piram, king of Jarmuth. Hold on a second. Eyes are drying out. There we go. To Japhia, king of Lachish, and Debir, son of Eglon, or king of Eglon, saying, "Come to me and help me, and let us strike Gibeon, for it has made peace with Joshua and the people of Israel." Then the 5 kings of the Amorites, the king of Jerusalem, the king of Hebron, the king of Jarmuth, the king of Lachish, and the king of Eglon, gathered their forces and went up with all their armies, and encamped against Gibeon and made war against it. And the men of Gibeon sent to Joshua at the camp in Gilgal, saying, "Do not relax your hand from your servants. Come to us quickly." I'm going to turn off this light. There we go. "Come up to us quickly and save us and help us, for all the kings of the Amorites who dwell in the hill country are gathered against us." So Joshua went up from Gilgal, he and all the people of war with him, and all the mighty men of valor. And the Lord said to Joshua, "Do not fear them, for I have given them into your hands. Not a man of them shall stand before you." So Joshua came upon them suddenly, having marched up all night from Gilgal. And the Lord threw them into a panic before Israel, who struck them with a great blow at Gibeon, and chased them by the way of the ascent of Beth-horon, and struck them as far as Azekah and Makkedah. And as they fled before Israel, while they were going down the ascent of Beth-horon, and the Lord threw down large stones from heaven on them, as far as Azekah, and they died. There were more who died because of the hailstones than the sons of Israel killed with the sword. Now here's the cool part. That's cool enough as is, that all these hailstones were coming down, and... Oh, music's louder than me? Okay. There we go. The Lord has already brought down hailstones and killed more than they have. But it's about to get even cooler. Verse 12. At that time, Joshua spoke to the Lord in the day when the Lord gave the Amorites over to the sons of Israel, and he said in the sight of Israel, "Sun, stand still at Gibeon, and moon in the valley of Ajalon." And the sun stood still, and the moon stopped, until the nation took vengeance on the enemies. Is this not written in the book of Jashar? The sun stopped in the midst of heaven and did not hurry to set for about a whole day. There has been no day like it before or since, when the Lord heeded the voice of a man, for the Lord fought for Israel. So Joshua returned, and all Israel with him, to the camp at Gilgal. So guys, how cool is that? You already have him throwing the stones, the hailstones, down on them. But then you have Joshua pray what seems to be an impossible prayer. And that impossible prayer is, "Lord, make the sun and moon stand still over this area and this area." And God does it. God says, "Yep, let's do it." And for a whole day, the sun stands still. I had no idea about that until about a year ago when I was at Awana, and the Awana commander, who's like in charge of all the groups, he was like, "Hey, did you know that the sun stood still?" And I was like, "Wait, what? What do you mean stood still?" And he was like, "Yeah, look it up in the book of Joshua." And so we looked it up, and I read that, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, that is amazing. That is so cool." To me, that is like, what a mighty God we serve, you know? Like, I look at that and I'm like, it is so clear he is on the side of the Israelites. And I love it. So yeah, you can impress people with that knowledge. The sun and moon stood still for a whole day. Good morning, dreamer. How's it going? So Sarah says, "Sorry, not to go back. Had to tend to the kiddo. Let me put this in a biblical perspective. Jesus said to Pilate, 'I came to testify to the truth. Anyone on the side of truth believes in me. Then look at his sacrifice. He died on the cross, grace and love, on our behalf. But if we don't believe in him and what is true, then we can't embrace the love and grace of his sacrifice. That is a very, very good point. That is a very, very good point, because the truth, capital T truth, is what's referred to multiple times in Scripture. We see, you will know the truth and the truth will set you free. And that is a fantastic feeling, that when we know the truth, we are free. The world thinks that they're free when they don't believe, because there's that temporary, feeling of, oh wow, I can do whatever I want, I'm not held to any real rules. And what's really gets me is that the world seems to think that we automatically know, common sense, what the right thing to do is. But how do we know what's right without knowing what's wrong? How do we know without a standard to hold ourselves to what the right thing to do is? So yeah, innately we know, for example, killing for no reason is wrong. You know what I mean? And it's like we know deep down, something inside us tells us this is wrong. That's why we have laws. Because we need that standard as people, because God knows that left to our own devices, we would make the wrong choice again and again. We see in Genesis 6 where he says, God saw that the thoughts and intentions of man's heart was nothing but evil all the time. We see again in Genesis 11 when they are building the Tower of Babel. He's like, this is just the beginning. We need to limit these people. You know what I mean? And it's like, he knows that left to our own devices, we're going to do the wrong thing. So he is our standard. He gives these people the wisdom to know what's right and wrong, but he also gives us the free will to choose whether we're going to do right or wrong. You got it, Dusty. When it comes to prayer time, I see your prayer request. Just practicing your people reading. Hey, there we go. Right? Isn't it interesting? Look at the Garden of Eden. Before she had even eaten the fruit, she was tempted. There was that free will at play. She could have told the serpent, no, I believe what God says. No, I think God knows what he's saying when he says not to eat of that tree. I believe, but no, she fell for that temptation. She ate the fruit and then realized, oh wow, Joshua 10 sounds like a psychological power play. These guys are used to getting signs and symbols from the world around them, and not just the hail coming out of nowhere, but having the sun and moon stand still. I don't care if you're a god-born hero with the holy weapon, that'll scare anybody, right? That'll scare the daylights out of anyone. I mean, right? Even without all of that, even without the whole, looking for signs and everything in the world, just the fact that hail comes out of nowhere, the fact that the sun stands still, you look at that and you're like, wow, there must be somebody more powerful than anybody to make all this happen. I have not, Dusty. I've not seen the Harry Potter TV show trailer. Because of the fall of man, we would have automatically known the truth, but due to his love and wanting our pure hearts not to be forced into a relationship with him, free will lets us decide on our own. So now, because of them eating that forbidden fruit, we have to really try to learn the truth, even though it was the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Yeah, that's pretty much it. She had the choice. She had the choice to say, no, serpent. God said this, I believe God. And then all would have been right with the world. But she chose to eat the fruit. Our feelings are a gift, but they can be out of alignment with the truth if not checked. Jeremiah 17:9. The heart is more deceitful than all else and is desperately sick. Who can know it? There's a reason emotions aren't intended for determining right and wrong. Exactly. And at least according to English translation, Adam didn't speak up. That's a very good point. That's a very good point also, Dreamer. That Adam wasn't there. You know, like, he may have been within earshot of all of this, but you're right, he didn't step up and say, Eve, don't do it. I will pull that up. And then watch that later. Thank you, Dusty. Yeah, it was the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Yes, that's the one that they ate. Eve, this fruit looks a little familiar. I'm gonna eat it anyway. You know? Like, that's literally it. That is literally how it worked. He was like, Eve was like, hey, guess what? Guess what? There's this fruit, and it tastes really, really good. And now I know good and evil. And Adam's like, huh, that looks familiar. Why not? Yeah, because there were two trees that were there. There was the tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And so you had, so that was the tree of life was the one that he has guarded with an angel. And so he didn't want, and then we see, and what's also interesting is that we see prior to so they already knew the truth, still believes the lie from the serpent, but knowledge is his truth. So they already knew it, they just made it harder for us to get there. Right? We definitely know of evil now, exactly. Yep, the entire race is struggling because of a goof, because of the fact, and we see that in Romans. Let's see, is it Romans 8? Nope. Romans 5. Okay. Let's see if that's the one I think. Yes. Okay. Romans 5:19. For as by one man's disobedience many were made sinners, so by the obedience of one will many be made righteous. So by one man's, that's Adam and Eve, disobedience, the many were made sinners. So by the one man's obedience, that's Jesus, the many will be made righteous. Alrighty, Dusty, you have a good day. So yeah, so because of Adam and Eve's disobedience, the many were made sinners. But through Jesus' obedience, and when we believe in him, we're made righteous. Well, we still can make the same choice of whether to believe Jesus and believe in him or lean on our own selves and make choices off of that. It's just harder for us to believe the truth that there is Jesus. Yeah, exactly, because so many times, the number one thing that I've seen for why people don't believe is look at the world around us and all the evil that's in it. And people really struggle with that free will aspect, with a loving God who would allow so much destruction to happen, who wouldn't just go, all right, you guys are not doing things the way that you're supposed to, so boom, we're done. But if we didn't have that free will, we wouldn't be able to choose him. But because we have free will, sometimes when that free will is abused, it kind of almost for some becomes like a blind spot of, well, how can a good and loving God allow so much evil? Why wouldn't he stop it? And the answer is, if he did, we wouldn't have free will. You wish they would really divulge into that. I mean, look at the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah. He did handle evil twice. The flood and the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah. Exactly. Exactly. It's like he has, and we see multiple times in the Old Testament where he has, you know, erased entire civilizations because of sin. Ooh. Let's see. Let me look that up. Does Charizard like carrots in Pocopia? He does like spicy food, which includes carrot bread. And they criticized even that. So which do you want? Exactly. So many times we blame God for what we ourselves screwed up. Exactly. And that's the thing, is that they don't realize that humanity is the one that messed it up. You know what? You know what I mean? It's like, okay, so do you want God to punish sin? Do you want those natural consequences? Or do you want to just be able to do whatever you want? Which is it? Oh no! I hope you can get to Lugia soon. Exactly. It's just such a sad state of affairs when you're looking at the world and you're like, man, y'all need Jesus. And we look at that and we say, y'all need Jesus, and they're like, but, you know, and they also see him as kind of limiting our fun. And we look at that and we go, fun you say. Fun you say. Let's see. You can go and do whatever, you know, thing you want to do, and it may be fun in the moment. But what happens when you drink alcohol to excess, for example? I'm not saying don't drink alcohol. I mean specifically in cases of excess where you should not be getting behind the wheel of a car, or, you know, where you get a really, really bad splitting headache the next day. That may have been fun in the moment. That may have accomplished what you were hoping it to in the moment when you were doing that. But the consequences of that sure aren't fun. You know? And so, yeah. He's not the creator of the evils in the world. He allows them to happen so that he can redeem them and be revealed as God. Exactly. Like, let's look at the blind man. Let's take a look at the blind man. Let's see. Jesus heals the blind man. Where is... Okay, John 9. Alright, Bible Gateway. John chapter 9. Alright, turning back on display capture. As he passed by, he saw a man blind from birth, and his disciples asked him, "Rabbi, who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind?" Jesus answered, "It was not that this man sinned or his parents, but here's the key, but that the works of God might be displayed in him." We must work the works of him who sent me while it is day. Night is coming when no one can work. As long as I am in the world, I am the light of the world. Having said these things, he spit on the ground and made mud with the saliva. Then he anointed the man's eyes with mud and said, "Go wash in the pool of Siloam," which means sent. So he washed and came back seeing. So we see that, and we see that the immediate response of the disciples was, wow, blindness must be the result of somebody's sin. So who sinned, him or his parents? And Jesus is like, nobody did, but this was so that God could be shown in the world and in his life. Never even thought about that till now, that he did destroy what was evil twice, but they complain about how cruel that is, but then they want him to always step in the evil today, when it's like, what you're really saying is, whenever you want and wish, you should just get away with it, but our ways are so evil, there would be so much destruction if he just gave everyone exactly what he wanted. So in a way, he still doesn't allow evil, he just holds himself back. Exactly. Look at when he woke up Lazarus. He could have gone and stopped that long before, and the sisters even say that. Mary and Martha say that. Lord, if you had just come here sooner, my brother would not have died. He could have stopped that long before, but he wept and cried and held himself back for the purpose of his will. Exactly. You can soon, but you need to find Zapados, Articuno, and Moltres first. You haven't found them yet, but if you get feathers from Lugia dropping them, you can make a bell to call Lugia down. But Lugia won't stay in my village forever. It'll just hang out for a bit. That makes sense. Your Ditto hit her head against the tree to make the berries fall down. I love it. But yeah, that's exactly it. That he says, yes, I can make this stop. But I'm going to hold myself back so that my glory can be shown. Anytime you have to put up with your darn human flesh emotions or see the evil, you just find yourself saying more, I can't wait to get to heaven. Amen. The amount of times over the last few years that I have said, come Lord Jesus, come quickly. Like the last handful of years, I've been like, come quickly. Poor Ditto probably has a headache from hitting the trees with her head, right? I completely agree. Alright, you guys, this was such a fun conversation, and we'll keep it going. But let's go ahead and dive into some prayer time now. So that way we can get prayer in before the ad break. I see the prayer request from Dusty. Anybody else who has any prayer requests, please feel free to use either the Please Pray For Me channel redemption, or just type them in chat. If you do the Please Pray For Me redeem, that does pop up both in chat and in my activity feed. So please, if you feel more led to use that, that is perfectly fine. So I'll give it a minute just to let you guys, put those prayer requests in. And I would love, 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 love to pray for you. We also have a prayer section in the Discord where you can put prayer requests at any time. And I will always be checking and making sure that I don't miss a single one. So feel free to post in there as well if you would like. Dude, the lo-fi music is so good. I love, love, love this lo-fi music. It just fits so well. At least I think it does. Yeah, right? Isn't it great background music? Musics! Give me the musics! All right, you guys, let's go ahead and pray. I will check partway through the prayer to make sure that I haven't missed any, and then we will go from there. Lord, thank you so much for who you are and how much you love us. Thank you for the mighty works that you have displayed throughout history that just prove that you are real. That if we look at those great acts and we say, Lord, you're real, how can there be anybody else? Lord, I bring all of these prayer requests before you. I pray for Dusty as he has an inspection coming up next week. I pray that he's able to get everything done that needs to get done ahead of time. I pray that he's not stressed, that he passes inspection, and that he's just able to rest easy, Lord. I pray for Sarah Sleepy. I pray that that her marriage that's in a rough spot, Lord, that you help her and her husband be able to talk out anything that needs to be talked out. If they need couples therapy, that they're both willing to get that. But if it's something that can just be solved with better communication, Lord, that her husband and she can work on that, Lord, that you open eyes and soften hearts, Lord. And I ask for prayers for her for the games that have been throwing her for a loop, and that prayers just work the way that they're supposed to. Lord, I just ask that you just work in that relationship, Lord. Make yourself more and more real to her, Lord, and to her husband, and to Sleepy Jr., Lord. I pray that you just reveal yourself fully and completely, Lord. I pray for Soul, Lord. I pray for peace, Lord, for comfort, for understanding. I pray for her dad, Lord, in this season where he got that diagnosis and they're both reeling from it, Lord. I can't even imagine. Lord, I pray if it be your will that you work a miracle, Lord. And if not, Lord, help us to accept your will. Help us to accept in the midst of that grief. I pray for her classes, that she's able to understand everything that's being taught, that she's able to pass with flying colors, Lord, that she's able to get where she needs to be and where you have called her to be, Lord. I pray for anybody who is struggling physically, whether illness or injury, Lord. I pray for STL, who's recovering from his heart surgery still, Lord, that you just touch and heal him, remove his headaches, Lord. Let the surgery have been what it needs to be to just get him back to 100%. I ask that you be with Kishu and her family as they've been dealing with some sickness. I pray for those who are traveling, that you give them traveling mercies, Lord. I pray for those who are just in a busy season of life, that they are able to get done everything that they need to get done. I pray for anybody who needs to come to know you, that you just make yourself more and more real to them, Lord. I ask that you just soften hearts that need to be softened, open minds that need to be opened. Give us those opportunities to be that light in a dark place and have those conversations. Be with anybody who's struggling mentally and just give them your strength and your peace, Lord. And in your name, give us a great time, Lord. Be with all the amazing Christian streamers. Be with those who need your guidance and wisdom. Be with Kat, be with Rico, be with Bearded Beowulf and Legend of Zyro. Be with Kishu and Spark and Cassie and Kayla, and just all the other amazing streamers, Pastor Dustin, Lotu, who are just trying to follow your will, Lord. Give us a great time of fellowship today, and in your name I pray. Amen. Struggling to wrap your head around it a little, to be honest. Maybe it's because cancer wouldn't exist if it weren't for the fall. I'm with you on that one. I am with you on that one. You feel like that is an evil that God does allow, and we aren't necessarily healed of it in this life. To a certain extent, like we're not guaranteed healing this side of heaven. We are guaranteed healing in that when we get to heaven, we're healed. And science has gotten to a point where it is a cure for quite a bit of the cancers. In fact, one of my friends recently got to be no evidence of disease, and they're doing another, few rounds of immunotherapy just to make sure that they got it all. But science has come a long, long way. Not blaming God for it, just won't always know his reasons for doing it this side of heaven. Exactly. And that is not, like, the world is going to say that that's a cop-out, that we just don't know his reasoning, we don't know his heart. They'll say that's a cop-out, but it's not. We're admitting we are not God. We are not the ones in control. And so that is the part that, another part that the world struggles with, is that, like, we see cancer, and even in little kids. And that's a hard reality to wrestle with, that as a result of the fall, we have all these sicknesses, and they are awful, awful sicknesses. But God can redeem it, just like you said. You downloaded the free Switch 2 upgrade pack for Dreamlight Valley, and it made it look so much smoother, and you can turn the camera better. I love it, and everything is so much faster. I love it. Good morning, sunshine. How you doing? How you doing? I am gonna go ahead and get this going, because I know that the ads are going to come. So I am going to go ahead and bring this up and get everything set up so that when ads are over, we are able to just dive right into the game. Right? I mean, if it's free, of course. I would expect nothing less. I would expect nothing less than for you to be like, yeah, I am all over that. Ads starting in just a minute. Just dropped hubby off at his hospital appointment, 90 minutes of going to the coffee shop. Hey, there you go. There you go. Lord, we just bring Slay before you, that this appointment goes well, that he's able to get the answers that he needs, Lord, that they can have a plan in place. And in your name I pray, amen. You do know that he allows it to happen for the purpose of knowing him. Don't know the specifics in every instance because I don't have the big picture that he does, but without suffering, we would be so much unaware of our desperate need for him. Amen. Amen. It's more than just redeem it when which he can. Think of it this way. We are more than just our flesh. We are soul spirit attached to a body. Our time here is so temporary, even though... Oh, I will be right back. All right, we are back from ads. Thank you. Whoop. Come on, OBS. There we go. It's more than just redeem it, which he can. Think of it this way. We are more than just our flesh. We are soul or spirit attached to a body. Our time on earth is so temporary, even though that stuff stinks. And it's hard to praise Jesus after a death. We are just in our soul spirit, so we have to decide where we want to go. That is a good point. It's one of those things where, in the moment, a lot of our grief is we're not able to see that person anymore. Life was never meant to be this way. We were never meant to have to do this. We were never meant to have to go through all the suffering that we do. But there's hope, and that hope is Jesus. Alright, let's continue this game. Let's see, looks like we're in Sector 2. What were we working on? We need to build a new combat room, and we also need to build 2 crew quarters. Ah, he's still studying. 2 cycles remaining. Ah! Why? Why? Alright, let's go ahead and close that. We're going to go with crew quarters. Do I not have? Oh my goodness. What's the other crew working on? Oh, repairing life support there. Oh, there you go. One more thing that comes to mind. 2 Peter 3:9. The Lord is not slow about his promise, as some consider slowness, but is patient towards you, not willing for any to perish, but for all to come to repentance. There you go. Oh, I don't have enough. I don't have enough time before they're going to be mad at me. I'm gonna pause that one. How do I not have... Oh. I don't have enough, Alright. Well, let's go... Well, the crew's morale is gonna suffer. Hopefully they know that we're... Hopefully they understand we're working on it. Crew, we're working on it. But thankfully, because of Jesus' sacrifice, we can have the ability to be with him. Because then we would have to earn it, because he paid the penalty for... Or if that penalty hadn't been paid, then our sins would ultimately have destined us for eternal death. Exactly. The only way out would have been having to constantly pay the price of our sins like they were doing in the OT. The Old Testament. Exactly. We got some crew quarters. Oh, no life support. Alright, we'll finish repairing that. Alright, we can stock up on some deuterium. That's fine, we can make that work. That one's 6 cycles away? Hey, there we go. We got back some of our morale. Perfect. We got 2 crew quarters. We are heading to... Not enough energy? What you talking about, Willis? We only have 1 energy available? Alright, well, then let us... Oh, we need to turn on life support. Yeah, absolutely! Right? This conversation got started because of what you said off stream. Technology still being the front, right? Exactly! We have 50 available. We have 7 cycles left. Okay. Oh, good! Critical success! I was kind of worried when it was getting towards the red. I guess not now, more pressing matters at hand. Alright, so we need a new combat room. And we only have 3 cycles to do 6 cycles worth of building. Between Sims and Rocket League. So in the newest episode of The Amazing Digital Circus, Kane goes all in on being a villain, and since he's a computer program, his fall from grace is interesting. Sims 3, you have a mod that can let you use a really pretty summer-like world. Similar to Island Paradise and Sims 4, but way better. But the game kept crashing, and it's a home world that even though the mod allowed it to be a vacation world, you had to go through all these hoops to get it to stop crashing on you. Oh man. He just learned that he crossed the line and he doesn't know how to change, so being pushed by Bubble, maybe the second AI being sneaky, he doubles down on the level production. Because that's his entire coding scope. Interesting. Alright, we've got the shield generator in one cycle. I need to collect some food. And I need to upgrade the warp core to level 2. No available work team. How do I only have one work team now? But yeah, that stinks that Sims kept crashing on you, Sarah. Okay, so now... Oh, I need to go get more resources. I'll have 40 cycles to accomplish this. I can do that. How much energy do I have? Oh my goodness. It takes up so many different levels. I'm gonna have to get life support on like all of these. I think I'm gonna have to get that life support done, that life support done, and that life support. Okay. Let's go to... Oh boy. This is gonna be difficult. He managed to get megalomania and gets the closest to being the character he was based on Am from I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. Huh, I don't know that I've heard of that one. In your old age, you find yourself wanting to play The Sims solely for the interior decorating. Galaxy, thank you for the lurk! You want to play around with cheats too so that you can work with what you want, but you went into CAD overprogramming for a reason. You're not the least bit coding inclined. Totally fair. Then for you to use your PS5 controller, Epic doesn't allow that, or won't see that you have a controller. So you had to get a non-Steam game on Steam and add the Epic's game launcher to be able to use the controller, but your controller, although being seen, you couldn't get past the start screen and it causes... and it's because it was still controlling the PS5. Huh. The one brief microcontroller unit you had? Nope, don't like this. Right? Even though you did a forget this device on the PS5, you can't get the PC to see the controller. This has been the past 2 days with games, hence why you needed prayer. You're so over it at this point, jumping through hoops to solve this, yeah. Now you know why they removed the vessels in the game, or the Vexels game. Huh, I don't know about that one. What if I turn that one on? Can I make another work team in the engineering office? Where is the engineering office anyway? That's the cargo bay. Why is there no life support? Okay. There we go. Maybe that'll get the... Maybe turning on the battery compartment will work on it. We'll work with it. Here's hoping. Yep, we gotta raise the morale. Don't you worry. Okay, so now we've done that. Okay. What is it missing? Let's switch it on. Oh, we need more of that? Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh my goodness. Maybe I should have upgraded? Cause I still have enough, I've still got enough cycles I can make that work. Okay, so I need more of the deuterium anyway. Okay. That's fine. Okay, so that's the engineering office or cargo bay. Okay, so we've got that ready to build the battery compartment. Alright, let's see if we have enough. We do not. Okay. So then... Oh, we don't even have enough for that? Alright. My goodness. No! That makes me so sad. We need more. Okay, do I have... Yes, okay. So we've got enough for that. That's fine. I can work with that. And then... we don't have enough... We need more... whatchamacallit. I have one work team. I need to get more... Let's go to the sector. Let's scan all the nearby planets. Okay. Set a course there. Alright. We're missing... What do you mean we're missing technology? we need to open the tech tree. Why is that locked? Oh, because... actually, I don't know. I don't understand why it's locked. Oh, because I have to research tier 2, which means I am once again going to epically fail. There we go. Alright, let's take a look at this. Alright, so that should be fine. Let's get this upgraded. I've got one more remaining. That's got crew quarters. Alright, so now I need to find more duranium. Alright, let's get caught up on chat here. It's an apocalyptic short story. An AI that has taken over all of Earth leaves 6 people behind to indulge in his sick sense of humor. The story follows the group learning about food nearby and, through their twisted artificial personalities and environment, find the food, unopened cans with no can opener. They manage to escape Am and his rules, too dark to mention now on this site. And the last person who's left behind is turned into an amorphous blob who is tortured and edited endlessly and doesn't have a mouth to express his anguish. Oh, wow. That sounds crazy. Catching the snippets on Dreamlight Valley are so fun, right? That's one of my favorite parts. Let's go get some more food. Morale is plus 200. This one looked like it had another batch of food. So we can try for that one. Okay, can I study this? Please. Oh, is it because it's tier 3? You gotta be kidding me. Oh my goodness. I am epically going to fail this whole thing. No! That small little bit of red? Alright, let's auto-resolve. Manual combat.
What are your orders, Captain?
My order is... Go ahead. We'll go defensive action. No. We'll go offensive actions.
Moving to attack
Weapons.
the front, Captain. Ability ready, Captain. Ability ready, Captain. Moving to attack the front, Captain.
Let's see if
Enemy
we can
shields
do
destroyed,
this.
Captain.
The Vidians. It's crazy. Alright, we're gonna surrender because there's no way we're gonna win. Whole status is 20%. It took some of our resources. Great. Well, I didn't know, Neelix. I'm sorry. I didn't know that it was supposed to be a tier 3 thing. A glimmer of hope? Scans? Right? Neelix thinks it's somehow my fault. Right? It's bleh. It's like, I didn't know that this was a tier 3 thing. I thought this was a tier 2 thing. And part of me is tempted to just start this whole thing over. But I will live with my life choices. Scans have discovered a wormhole, but subspace disturbances indicate it's collapsing rapidly. I blame Neelix for that. What do? We don't have time or much time to investigate. Let's investigate it right away. We won't let this opportunity pass us by. Set a course for the wormhole. I'm setting a course. Alright, now we can finally research Tier 2 or Tier 3. We reached our destination. Orders? Continue. We're approaching the wormhole. On screen. The view screen shows only the vast, star-studded expanse of the Delta Quadrant, but the coordinates indicate Voyager has arrived. Where is it? The wormhole, a supposed ticket home, remains stubbornly invisible. So the wormhole should make it where we're able to get back to the Alpha Quadrant. Are we in visual range? Affirmative, Captain. This must be the smallest wormhole on record. Magnify. Even magnified, the wormhole remains a frustratingly small blip on the screen. Disbelief and a flicker of despair cross the bridge crew's faces. Is this their only hope of returning home? It's small. The aperture is only about 30 centimeters in diameter, but it is large enough for a message. It could carry a data transmission to Federation space in minutes. I just realized that this entire time I've had music going. I need to pause it. So that way I have enough for without having to restart the music. You were thinking it was a black hole. That makes sense. I could see that. We have to find out if it goes anywhere near the Alpha Quadrant. We could send a probe beforehand. A modified probe would have a greater chance of success, but would require time and resources. Magnified probe. It's worth it. Aye, Captain. Create a magnified probe in the workshop. Where is our workshop? There. Perfection. We get started on that right away. We'll just kind of stay here a few cycles. Return to the wormhole. Walmart and it's enticing you, or darn Walmart and it's enticing the Nintendo Switch 2. It knows that you wanted it. It knows it's broke. It knows you're broke. Captain, the probe is ready. Send in the modified probe. Do it. Telemetry data incoming, Captain. The view screen shows a green vortex, the image transmitted by the probe from inside the micro wormhole. A sense of wonder and anxiety fills the bridge. What's on the other side? It doesn't look like any wormhole I've ever seen. It must be old, decaying. Any ideas where our probe will wind up, Ensign? No, but a phase variance in the radiation stream. It's stuck. Can it break free? Unlikely. Wait, it was just scanned by someone else. Hail them. Use the probe to reinforce the signal. We're receiving an answer, Captain. On screen. This is Captain Catherine Janeway of the Federation Starship Voyager. Who is receiving this communication? I am Telek Ramor of the Romulan Astrophysical Academy, Science Vessel Talvath, location Alpha Quadrant, Sector 1385. What are your coordinates? We are in the Delta Quadrant, but since it hasn't been charted, I can't specify our exact location. Delta Quadrant? On a Federation starship called Voyager? I have not heard of a ship with that name. It is new, but not classified. Surprising. Romulans are usually well informed. I've been in deep space for over a year and am not privy to the latest intelligence. I'm sure my government knows of any Federation expeditions to the Delta Quadrant. It's a complicated story. Please, if you could... I don't believe you. You are undoubtedly still in the Alpha Quadrant. I ask again, what are your coordinates? Alright guys, what do we want to do? Do we want to convince them with technical facts, logic, or just plain go, please believe me? You've heard Dreamlight Valley performs better on it. You have Dreamlight Valley on Switch, PC, and PS5. The hubby and you share the PS5, but he has it more. So when he has it at night, if you want to play it, you have to get on PC, and Switch was... So you can... Oh, and Switch, so you can play it as long as you have Wi-Fi. You have the Switch OLED, so it stinks that Pocopia is only for the Switch too. You would think the logic would encompass technical facts. That's a good point. So do we want logic, which should encompass technical facts, or do we want to go, please, please believe me? I feel like we need to level up Janeway. You say logic? Alright, we've got a vote for logic. Possibly 2 votes for logic if I'm interpreting Soul's thing correctly. Yes? Okay, so we've got 2 votes for logic. 3 votes for logic. Alright, logic wins. I understand your concern. Naturally, the Romulan Empire does not want Starfleet spying on its science vessels. However, wouldn't a spy come up with a more plausible lie? This is preposterous. I am terminating communication. We failed. Wait! Darn it. The micro wormhole collapses on the screen, and its light dying. The bridge crew watch in stunned silence as their supposed hope of returning home disappears. It's gone, Captain. Return to our previous course. No! Ah. Captain, you simply must see the cargo bay. Our pantry is positively bursting with the most magnificent delicacies. Now the hard work is behind us, we can finally move on to the fun part, the preparation. Just imagine the possibilities. Takar loggerhead eggs whisked to perfection, a hearty Leola root pilaf, followed by a decadent Laurelian pudding. I promise you, your taste buds will melt away. I can't tell if he means that literally. In any case, the results speak for themselves. Our food stores are well stocked. Mission accomplished, Captain. Well done. Right? I don't see the logic behind that logic failing either. I really don't, because I'm like, dude, wouldn't we come up with something better? Okay, so that's full. Food is full. We do need some of this. Okay, so now we can actually upgrade. And... oh, we're missing the crystals. Unlocks warp core tier 3. Okay. So we need crystals. Let's side with the one who's going to aid refugees. Okay, we can do that. That's fine, we can deal with that. Perfect. We'll destroy the vessel. Alright, we're good there. We need more. Alright. There. We need to open. We need to keep that open. Alright, so we're full on that. Okay. So now let's go here. Let us go to maybe science? Yeah, we need to research apple-like fruits and weird roots. Okay, there we go. You're laughing so hard at the moment you went to Amazon to buy a long USB-C cable because you solved the controller issue. But you need a longer cord, which is why you had the extender USB, but it didn't hold enough power for the controller. So you went to type in Amazon search for a cord, and before you even typed, you saw ribeye steak. I love it. At least our quarters are good to go. Right? Since when does Amazon have steak? Well, I think they... I think what they did is they've partnered with a bunch of... They've partnered with, like, Whole Foods and things like that. Yeah, they've got a grocery division now. Okay, so we got plenty of that. Oh, accept the comms request. As the commander feared, the Leola roots aren't a long-term solution. We need to find other ways to stock our pantry. Suggestions? Captain, I was thinking about building a hydroponics bay. It would give the crew a chance to reconnect with the natural process of growing food. We could also hit up some local trading stations with the Aero Shuttle barter for supplies, do a little Delta Quadrant grocery shopping, so to speak. But Captain, there are so many planets out here. We just need to keep exploring to find one brimming with the most delicious, nutritious delicacies. Think of the culinary adventures. Hydroponics, trade, exploration, all valid options. Thank you. Oh, Captain, regardless of your choice, the raw ingredients still need to be prepared. Naturally, I'd be honored to apply my culinary skills. However, the mess hall lacks a proper galley. Would you be willing to sacrifice your private dining room for the greater good of the crew? Wonderful! I'll get to work straight away! Right? Thanks for the input, Neelix. Just a reminder, we do need to get home. Alright, let us research the hydroponics bay. Right? Now you see why people don't like him. Like, he's really, really cool. But at the same time, he's kind of got, I kind of want to give them a little bit of shore leave. Yeah, he's very pushy at the same time. Ooh! During shore leave, the crew discovers the Sicarians possess advanced space-folding technology capable of sending Voyager over halfway to the Alpha Quadrant. This may be their best opportunity to return home! Oh, that's great! Certain rooms, like the mess hall, benefit from a specialist support. You can assign heroes and aid your crew. There we go. We can make that work. Right? Minus 100? Federation rules of equality not doing it for you guys? We're picking up a distress call. On screen. Captain, this may be a trap. Do we want to scan for other Kazon ships, analyze the damage, or do a general scan? Or do we want to just go and investigate without doing any scanning? Which one are we feeling? Analyze damage? Alright, there's a vote for analyze damage. Alright, we'll go ahead and analyze the damage. Can we determine if they sustained genuine damage? Its fluctuating nucleonic patterns might indicate a reactor breakdown on board. Do we want to scan for other ships? Or do a more general scan of just the ship itself? I'm kind of leaning towards scanning for other ships in the area to see if it might be like an ambush. Let's do that. Scan for any other Kazon ships in the area. Nothing showing up, Captain. Scan the Kazon ship. Let's see what we're dealing with. The ship is identical to the Kazon Nistrum raider we previously encountered, Captain. The Kazon Nistrum is one of the most violent sects in the entire Kazon collective. Right? We're on the same wavelength. We'll help, but be cautious. This could be an opportunity to make new friends. Or enemies. We do have 2 teams. Let's go ahead and repair that. Investigate the distress call in the next star system. Ooh, we'll periodically collect or receive trade offers when our bay is active. That's fine, that's fine. I can make that work. Okay, we've done that. We can build a hydroponics bay. Yeah, we can make the hydroponics bay next to the... Cargo bay, engineering office, large cargo bay. There we go, hydroponics bay. Perfect. Alright, well, then let's go ahead and clear that ruined room. Alright, ads starting in a minute. Don't you worry, you will not miss a single thing. See, what do we have that's only 2? There we go. We'll go with that. We'll make emergency quarters. Alright, let's send our away team. And after the break, we'll decide who is on our away team. I'm gonna go ahead and go into BRB and see you guys in just a minute. We are back. Let's see, who do we want on our away team? I feel like we need to level up some people. I want to take Balana with me. Hey, thank you, Slay. How did your appointment go? Maybe we'll take Chakotay? Yeah, I think I am. I enjoy both, but I'm definitely a bit more of a Star Trek person. And then do we want... It might be good to have Kess come with us. See what happens and we can level her up. Because she at least has some medical stuff. And none of the other two do. Admiral loves Star Trek. I knew there was a reason I'm an honorary Kratos. Usually it's the other way around from people. Yeah, I enjoy both. I think it's more that I grew up on Star Trek and I was introduced to Star Wars later. I think that has a lot to do with it. Aw, I'm your Auntie Donna. I love it. I accept. I accept. So what do you guys think? Do we think this looks like a good away team? We got Balana, Chakotay, and Kess. Are ones that kind of need to level up some. I think that's a good away team. Because we've covered all the ones that are good for the challenges. Yeah, that would be awesome if we got to meet up in person. Yeah, I feel like if we did this, call out for survivors, I think we'll be good. Calling out reveals a single weak survivor who is immediately beamed over to sickbay. The rest of the crew are dead, fused with the ship's debris. What happened here? Let's scan the atmosphere. The scans reveal residual energy signatures indicative of a catastrophic explosion. The cause remains a mystery, but the evidence points to malfunction. Mad Mama's Fun! Thank you so much for the raid! How are you, my friend? I hope you're doing well. How was your stream? What were you playing today? You used to have Snorlax emotes, you have one left. You mainly have ferrets because of your obsession with ferrets. However, you might get some Bluey emotes that you found yesterday. Bluey emotes are so cute. We were talking about doing basketball for LSU yesterday for you because you're so tall. Oh, that would be so cool. Ooh, that one might... So it looks like the system analysis might be better. Because at least it's less of a chance than 50-50. Let's give it a go. An analysis reveals an unknown addition to the system was followed by a massive pre-explosion energy surge, which originated in an irradiated area behind a force field. You've always wanted to go to LSU once you get older since Mama Queen is from Louisiana? That's awesome! You would make a fantastic addition to LSU. Stream was great. Second stream after the fire and being home. You started off with Helldivers and moved to Bloons TD6 after the hubs had to go do some adult things. It was so much fun just being able to stream again. Were you able to pick a intro and outro song? That would be so cool. That would be so cool to hear that one day. Captain, there's a strange console inside the force field. It could be the origin of the explosion, but the radiation is preventing us from getting closer. How should we proceed? You do have those. You also have a BRB one, you think? You can't remember? Yay! I'm so glad that you've been able to select which of those ones that you showed me would work best for you. So she's fatigued. Like, really fatigued. Let's do that. Let's modify... The analysis reveals traces of Federation technology within the console. The away team returns to Voyager with this shocking discovery. We've got an injury-free bonus. Yes! And we got him leveled up a bit. It seems the Kazon tried to install Federation technology. We are unsure why. Can't we transport it out to examine it? Not with those levels of nucleonic radiation. We could create a subspace bubble or build an expander. One's quicker and riskier, and the other safer but more resource intensive. I'm kind of feeling playing it safe. Right? Now, was that from the battle or was it left here? That's a good question. Now, the battle earlier, we were fighting the Viridian. This time, it's the Kazon ship. But we did fight the Kazon last time. So maybe? Maybe? Let's do the safer route. We won't risk lives, no matter how expensive it is. One expander. How on earth did the Kazon get their hands on Federation technology? The most probable explanation is that someone on our ship gave it to them. I don't like this. If technology changed hands, maybe it happened on the planet earlier. Who could have met them while you were on the surface? Ensign Seska was unaccounted for. I was picking mushrooms. The Kazon ambushed me. Quite. I suggest interviewing the Kazon survivor, Captain. Captain, this raises serious security concerns with Maquis personnel in critical areas. This is about you being passed over for Chief Engineer, isn't it, Carrie? No, Torres, it's about security. Convenient timing, Carrie. Almost like someone wanted to make the Maquis look like the perfect scapegoats. Enough. We'll determine the truth through proper investigation. Sickbay to Captain Janeway. It's the Kazon. His own blood cells are killing him. I need to perform a complete pyrocyte replacement to save him. Requesting authorization. Are we equipped for this procedure? I've already run a crew compatibility analysis. I also noticed Ensign Seska never provided a blood sample. I had a childhood disease and I was warned never to donate blood. I already found enough compatible blood donors among the crew, but we still require a blood sample for general medical purposes. I don't see the point in that, Doctor. Let's just do it. Ensign Seska, I order you to provide a blood sample. It's for your own good. And about the Kazon patient. Do everything in your power, Doctor. Good news, Captain. The Kazon is stable. Chances are high that he'll survive. Good. Let me know as soon as he wakes up. Let's proceed with building the expander. In the workshop. The workshop is over here. It stinks when the weather deceives you. Where you are, it's nice and sunny out. You would think it's nice and warmish out. Nope, it's 26 degrees Fahrenheit. Oh man. Yeah, no available work team. Okay. That's valid. That's valid. So now we need to get more... We need to get more supplies, is what we need. That one's full. Oh, return to the Kazon Raider. Oops. You wanted to open the windows too? You love the smell of fresh air? I believe it. We gotta get more stuff. Ooh, and crystals! We can get more of the crystals! Let's leave for now. Took a 2-mile walk yesterday? That's good. Okay, so that's what that means. Okay, so we need to go back here. We need to return to the raider. Oh no, we're out of food! That's fine, we can go back and get more food in that other sector. That's fine. Captain, 2 Kazon Nistrum raiders approaching. They are hailing us. Ooh, Luigi in a frog suit? Are they doing like a Mario and Luigi thing with the Happy Meals? Open a channel. Kazon vessel. I am Captain Catherine Janeway of the Federation starship Voyager. Good morning, Pierogi! How you doing? How you doing? 25 degrees out and you're cold? Meanwhile, here in my neck of the woods, it is 86. It's craziness. It came in a question mark box. I love it. I love it! I am Kulla, first Maj of the Kazon Nistrum. What have you done to our ship? We responded to a distress call. By the time we arrived, there was only one survivor. I demand to speak to him. We better not refuse the demand of a Kazon Nistrum Maj, Captain. We should question the survivor first, without outside influence. I demand to see my crewman immediately. I have to refuse. You can visit him later. That is unacceptable. No one opposes the first Maj of the Kazon Nistrum. We will take the damaged vessel with us. You have no right to interfere with our affairs. Keep your hands off our ship or it will be considered an act of war. War, Captain! We'll let him take the ship for now. I don't want any more Kazon trouble. Take the ship. Good. You're smarter than I thought, Captain. Now we'll never know if the console came from Voyager. Let's hope our Kazon patient wakes up soon. I have a few questions for him. I will carry out an investigation. All signs indicate that we have a traitor on board, and I will find them. Whatever is necessary, Lieutenant. One of your weather apps says that it's 78, and the other says it's 77. I love it. That's nice weather out there. Well, I would have had a dentist appointment today, but they canceled because the provider called out. I can understand needing to call out, and I can't control others, but today you have off from both work and jury duty, which kind of defeats the point of having today off. Well, on the plus side, you're able to get more stuff done. You're able to relax without having to worry about the dentist. Your weather app says it's 36. So trying to enjoy the impromptu day off. I love it. It's nice, but you think you have humidity here. That makes sense, yeah. Oh man, you guys that have humidity, I don't know how you do it. With Tuvok currently unavailable, his duties as Chief of Security will be temporarily covered by Lieutenant Nunez. A no-nonsense military man, Lieutenant Nunez is always prepared for any contingency. He'll make sure every security protocol is strictly observed, leaving no room for error. Lieutenant Nunez was part of the original Starfleet crew aboard Voyager when it launched. His presence will ensure a seamless transition. Violence is non-negotiable. Or non-negatable? Whichever one it was. You just sweat your butt off with humidity. That's how you do it. You know, definitely in Louisiana there's humidity. Your hair got all poofy and crazy. I believe it. You needed the dentist to fix the filling on your back molar and you're not guaranteed to have the day off that it was rescheduled for. That makes sense. Well, in that case, I guess... Let's see, is there any food around here? Ooh, a new trade offer received. Yeah, we can trade for that. That's fine. Now where's that food? We were supposed to get 500 food. Listen to Tuvok's findings. Captain, I have completed my investigation. Dr. Bridge, I've analyzed Ensign Seska's blood sample. No childhood disease could ever explain her genetic markers. Ensign Seska is a Cardassian, genetically altered to look Bajoran. That's crazy! Impossible! You want me to believe Seska's a Cardassian agent who infiltrated the Maquis? Ensign Seska being a Cardassian agent isn't as far-fetched as you might think. It is a common trick to use cosmetic alterations for infiltration. I was also a spy under your command. Thank you for bringing that up again. What are your findings? An unauthorized transmission was sent to the Kazon a week ago. It originated in Lieutenant Carey's station. Also, I found an encrypted security code in the requisition file for replicator materials. That code, however, belongs to Ensign Seska. Incompetence or intent? Thank you, Lieutenant. Let's speak to the Kazon survivor first. I'd like to speak to our Kazon patient first. The patient is stable enough for questioning. I'm Captain Janeway. We responded to your distress call. I am a Kunut, Kunut? However you pronounce it, of the Kazon Nistrum. So you saved me. It was a rather complicated procedure, but with my formidable medical skills, Yes, thank you, Doctor, but we don't have much time. The explosion on your ship was caused by our technology. Who gave it to you? I don't know what you're talking about. Don't take me for a fool. I want to know the truth. Now. If I tell you, Cullen will kill me. Let's offer him... Oh, Canute! That could be. Let's try offering him protection. Consider this, Canute. Whether you assist us or not, your Maj will think you did. You're a dead man either way. But we can offer you protection. Fine, it was that woman, Seska or something. So it really was her. How unpleasant. That's quite the reaction to have. That's quite the reaction to have to finding out that you were betrayed. That's unfortunate. Do we want to offer him to join our crew, or do we want to send him away? Offer to join the crew? We've got to vote for that. Right? It's certainly a reaction. Got 2 votes for 1. Three votes for 1. 1 it is. I can offer you a place on Voyager as part of our crew. Guess I got nowhere to go. I'm in, Captain. Now, get Seska on the bridge. This ends today. Bridge crew, attention. For weeks, a traitor has been in our midst, actively conspiring with the Kazon. That stops today. Ensign Seska, you are charged with treason. By transferring Federation technology to the Kazon, you have violated the Prime Directive. No! It's Carey! He's the one! He never trusted the Maquis, and he's using this to frame us! Tell that to the brig. You and your precious Starfleet principles. I did what was necessary. Your actions left us stranded in the Delta Quadrant. Kala offered protection and I made a decision. A decision that could have impacted the entire quadrant. You lack resolve, Janeway. I don't. Computer, command X-ray Juliet Lima. With a triumphant smirk, Seska activates her transporter, revealing her treachery as she escapes from the bridge. Janeway and the crew are left in shock. She's getting away! Do we want to try to override, or do we want to try and figure out where she's going? Identify where she's going? Identify where she's going. Alright, identify where she's going. What is the destination of Seska's transport? A Kazon vessel. It's getting ready to go to warp. Ooh. We've repaired our ship, so we should be better. Do we want to let them escape and deal with it later? Or do we want to go ahead and fight? We want to fight? Gotta vote for fighting. Gotta vote for letting them escape. Got another vote for fighting. Alright, it's 2-1. So we're gonna get ready to fight. Battle stations. Yes, Captain. All systems ready.
What are your orders, Captain?
Alright.
Moving to attack the front, Captain. Ability ready, Captain.
So we're just gonna let them fight it out.
Ability ready, Captain. Enemy shields destroyed, Captain. Enemy is fled, Captain.
One enemy has fled. Alright, go get some foods.
Enemy shields destroyed, Captain. Ability ready, Captain.
Victory! Report. The Kazon Raiders have been defeated, but Seska escaped with Kala. Alright, Wolfcat, we got ourselves a stretch. Good morning, good morning. How you doing? How you doing? It is probable Seska and Kala will seek vengeance. I recommend we prepare ourselves. We've got their number, Lieutenant. We're ready for them. Captain, thank you for your faith in me throughout this whole traitor affair. I realize my Maquis comments were less than professional. For that, Lieutenant Torres, I sincerely apologize. I now understand why the captain appointed you Chief Engineer. You clearly deserve that chair. Congratulations. Good, I'm glad you're doing well. I'm doing well too. We've got about another half hour of stream time, and then gonna raid on out in about half an hour, but busy, but good. We're playing some Star Trek Voyager and seeing how our decisions affect crew morale and all that good stuff. I'm thinking tomorrow we might play some American Truck Simulator. We haven't played that in forever. I appreciate that, Lieutenant Carey. Truly. I'm pleased to see you both moving forward. I'll leave you to it. I suspect our Chief Engineer and her new Assistant Chief Engineer have a lot to discuss. That game multiplayer is pretty good. It's one of those things where I think we both select the same job And then we just drive to that job together. Right? I better get some fresh driving insurance. I'm honored, Captain. I'm going to be counting on you, Carrie. I'm not up to date on all the latest Starfleet protocols. You're probably more familiar with the quirks of this warp engine than I am right now. I hope I can depend on you. I assure you, Lieutenant, you'll never get less than my best. Let's travel. Because we can explore and replenish supplies that way.
Personal log, Lieutenant Tuvok. The crew's persistent capacity for adaptation under the sustained pressure of the Kazon Nistrum threat is exemplary. This unexpected resilience offers crucial protection against the ongoing threat of Kulla and Seska. A protection rendered necessary by my own deficiency. My oversight in identifying Seska's treachery was a significant operational failure. I tendered my resignation as Chief of Security to the Captain. It was refused repeatedly. An illogical decision I attribute to her evident emotional bias. Supplemental. Sensors detected an unidentified transmission from an ionized hydrogen cloud. The Captain intends to investigate, classifying the potential hazard as a welcome diversion. The human capacity for welcoming variables of unknown origin and potential threat remains to me an inexplicable phenomenon.
Personal log, Lieutenant Tom Paris. Seska, huh? Wasn't that a neat little surprise? Undercover agent running off with an intergalactic thug with bad hair and anger management issues? All you need now is a dashing hero to sweep in and save the day. A dashing hero that saves the day. No, seriously though. We've been playing cat and mouse with these Kazon for ages, and Kulla is nothing if not persistent. But we all know Seska's really the one pulling his strings. Give credit where it's due, she's good. Evil, but good. What's actually surprising is how well the crew's holding it together. No Starfleet versus Maquis brawl in the mess hall. Yet. Supplemental. Our sensors just picked up an unidentified transmission from an ionized hydrogen cloud. The Captain wants to investigate this welcome diversion, and that's my cue. Voyager isn't going to steer itself into its next big adventure.
That is true. The crew grows increasingly homesick. It's more than just missing the Alpha Quadrant. There is a deep emotional weight that threatens to unravel our morale. I feel the strain in every corner of the ship. This journey tests not only our mission, but our very spirit as we press onward into the unknown. Let's scan everything. See what we can find. Good, we can get some food. Ooh, and crystals. Even more food! You make a lobby, and then once everyone's in the lobby, you find the same job and travel to the destination together. You play Euro Truck Simulator sometimes. I've played that one too! I've got my home base in that one in Lyon, France. Haven't played in a long time though. I have not tried 7 Days to Die. I've heard of it, but I haven't tried it. You enjoy the chaos of having friends go on runs with you, especially when their laptop is struggling like mad. You saw a friend's truck go flying due to lag. It was glorious. Sometimes. Sometimes I get scared of zombies. It all depends. Okay, so 40 cycles. We'll upgrade a combat room to level 2. Okay, that works. That I can do. Because we can go to the Research and analysis. I think I built one of those. Alright, so we can do a shield generator. Let's see if that works. Let's begin research there. Alright, so we need to do this. Alright, let's get some food. Perfect. We got lots of good. Don't be bad, don't be bad. Okay, good. Good. We did it. We did it. Yeah, Wolfcat, we should totally team up on that one day. 7 days is terrifying, but you play it once in a while. You just got it and have like 4 hours in, and Zombies in the Sound scare you, but you like zombie games. Your oldest wants the game and it's on sale at the Loaded website for only $17. Nice. Okay. So let's see what we got here. So we've got full food. We need more of that. That's full. We're gonna need that. Okay, so now we'll be able to do this. We've researched the cloud. Orders? I'll think about it. I'll definitely think about it. It definitely sounds more like a Spooktober kind of game. Let's see what this is all about. Captain, the source appears to be a Federation beacon? Federation? Authenticate the signal. This code was not scheduled for implementation until Stardate 48423, a month after we left Deep Space Nine. Starfleet has to be looking for us. I think we'll support the optimism in that. A glimmer of hope never hurts, Ensign. Let's see what this beacon's about. Do we want to beam it aboard? Do we want to tractor it in? Or scan it from afar? Which one do we want to do? 3, tractor it in. We've got to vote for tractoring. We've got to vote for scanning from afar. possibly 3, so 1 or 3. So we've got 2 for 3 and 1 for 1. Let's go ahead and tractor it in. Tractor the beacon into visual range. Initiating tractor beam. Uh-oh. We are taking fire from inside the cloud. A Kazon raider is closing at 158 Mark 9. Do we want to hail them or go to battle stations? Yay! You've acquired food! What food have you acquired? It's a trap! Ooh, a bagel with peanut butter! That sounds delicious! What kind of bagel? Alright, we've got a vote for battle stations. Let's go! Evasive maneuvers. Return fire. Dude, look at this. Look at this. 73 versus 43.
What are your orders, Captain? Moving to attack the front, Captain. Ability ready, Captain.
Ooh, a plain one. I love Charles's emotes.
Ability ready, Captain.
How's he feeling today?
Enemy shields destroyed, Captain.
I know yesterday he wasn't really feeling all that good. Victory! Hull breach on deck 4. The swirling gases of the cloud offer little warning as a Kazon vessel emerges from the haze, ramming a shuttle directly into Voyager's hull. Sparks fly, alarms blare, and the bridge crew is thrown into chaos. Through the ruptured hull, Kazon warriors swarm aboard, their motives unclear. Is this a desperate attempt to cripple Voyager, or do they have a more sinister objective? Captain, the Kazon were continuously matching our shield frequency. They know our access codes. They were targeting our transporter modules. They took one when they boarded the ship. They are hailing us. Ah, Janeway! I hope you enjoyed our little reunion. Cullah, the transporter module you stole was designed for Voyager. It's useless to you. Oh, is that so? Hello there. Remember me? I might look a little different. Seska? I'm in the process of restoring my Cardassian physiology. Yes, Chakotay, I was spying on your precious Maquis the whole time. Surprised? No, because I know you, Seska. Ooh, you heated up the bagel so the peanut butter would melt on it? Oh my gosh, that sounds delicious. You should have guessed sooner. You were always so predictable. It's a relief to finally shed that pathetic Bajoran disguise. Anyway, Janeway, I see your crew and ship are still in one piece, despite your incompetence. Impressive. Do we want to stay calm and greet her, or do we want to return the compliment? You heated it possibly a little too much? Alrighty. Thank you for the lurky turkey. I appreciate. One or a two? One or two? Alrighty, sounds good, Sunshine. You're awesome, Wolfcat. You're awesome, Sunshine. I guess we'll stay calm and greet her. It's good to see you too, Seska. I'd love to stay and chat, but duty calls. Goodbye. You were probably right, Soul. Deck 4's integrity is critical. The Kazon shuttle has to go. Now. All available hands on deck. We're going to manually push the shuttle out. Prepare for potential decompression. The shuttle has been successfully removed. Now we can focus on Kala. Do we have a lead? This sector is teeming with phenomena that interfere with our sensors. We're blind. Forgive me, Captain, but is going after Kala the wisest course of action? All they've stolen is a small computer component. The capabilities of this small computer component extend beyond simple transport. Its potential as a weapon poses a significant threat to this sector. I know Seska. The module is just bait. She wants us. And we're blind. Alright. Go after it, or let him have the module. Which one do we want? I'm not sure which one. One, if we don't stop him now, this place is going to be trouble. And yeah, you know, it's a trap. But again, they've got a weapon. That is true. That is true. So we have a vote for one. Going after the module. And Dreamer's reasoning does make sense. Alright, we're going after it. They want to ambush us? Then we'll turn the tables. We have to prepare ourselves for a dual threat. The Kazon and this sector. We're in the dark, so be ready for anything at all times. Long-range sensors are being jammed by these phenomena. We'll have to rely on short-range. Scan for warp signatures, communication snippets, anything. All crew to your stations. Yellow alert. Not what I meant! Not what I meant! How much longer does he need to research? 9 more cycles remaining. I should have realized. Alright. Alright, we're full on that. Eight remaining. Okay. 1, 2, 3. One. We'll let him continue. Alright, so now we need the... Yeah, that's the shield generator. Okay. So let's go to main engineering. Switch that on. Oh, we're missing 2 of those. We're missing... We need 1 of those. Where would I find that? Bioneural gel packs. Okay. Research and build 1 bio lab. I am so tired of not having enough time to do what I need to do. Because we're low on these bioneural gel pack things. We can't necessarily make them. Everything else we're doing great on. All right, let's do that. Okay, that's fine. We've got that on. I guess let's get this ready. We need more of the gel packs. So that way we can build that biolab again. Pocopia hype! There we go. Ventured an asteroid field. We've got full food. Yeah, no problem, soul. Let your dad know I said hello and that I'm praying for him. Alright, we're getting ready to wrap up here in just a few minutes. Let's go ahead and get researching. I'm gonna go ahead and snooze those ads. Let's begin that. Why have we lowered as far as our defenses? All right. Alright, that we can do. We can do 900. Oh boy. Alright, so we need all the things. We need all the things. We'll auto-resolve. We've got 0% chance. Nope. We're gonna just
What are your
start the
orders, Captain?
combat. And then we are going to use defensive
Moving
action.
to defend the front, Captain.
Pretty much. Either way, we're dead.
Ability ready, Captain. Shields critical, Captain. Ability ready, Captain.
We can't surrender.
Shields critical, Captain. Moving to attack the front, Captain. Moving to attack the starboard side, Captain. Shields down, Captain. Shields down, Captain. Ability ready, Captain. Shields critical, Captain.
And we died. The hull broke apart and the ship was destroyed. And on that sad note, who's ready to raid out? Oh no. That was such an awful way to end. Such an awful way to end. Alright, let's see who all is online. I'm kind of feeling some fish vibes. So let's go ahead and raid to Aquarium TTV. There's your raid messages. We're gonna go ahead and raid Pastor Dustin's fish tank. There we go. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. I will see you guys tomorrow. And always remember, God loves you, and so do I.